Hey everybody, Mark Burgess, Big East Bass Fishing, bringing you another video. I appreciate you taking time out of your day to check it out. So I have to apologize, I haven't shot a lot of content lately due to the fact that I started a new daytime gig. So I'll bring you that here in a little bit. I'm gonna do some videos on that. I'm gonna be promoting what I'm doing, and I wanna make sure that I bring that to you. So today I'm just out in the boat garage, boat barn, and doing a little work to the boat. As you know, I'm going to dip my baby toe in the forward-facing sonar water. I don't expect, I'm just going to put this right out there, I don't expect to become a scoper by any stretch of the imagination, because I love fishing the way I fish. Okay, so I like to have fun, even though I take tournament fishing extremely seriously. Like I've mentioned in past videos, every event that I fish, it's like the Bassmasters Classic. Okay, so that's not going to change. I'm just using it as a tool. I mean, the technology, you need to keep up with technology, because if you don't, technology is going to just go right by you and you're going to be left behind. Okay, so I'm not saying that you have to run out and get forward-facing sonar technology, and as most of you know, I already use Mega 360, which has really helped my fishing a lot. I enjoy using that tool, and like I said, it's a tool. So forward-facing sonar, I'm gonna check it out. I got another unit going on the bow of the boat exclusively for that. I'm gonna be using it for forward-facing sonar and Mega 360. And then the unit that I've had is going to be basically, mapping and, 2D sonar, that kind of thing. So, that being said, kind of segue into what I want to talk about today. I'll try to keep it short and sweet. I have a tough time doing that, though. I want to talk about the first two Elite Series events. Here we are on a Saturday. Would be the day 3 top 50 cut of Lake Fork. Okay, so I want to start though on Toledo Bend and what happened there, where forward-facing sonar dominated the event. I got a few friends and obviously former Elite Series competitors that I still keep in touch with that are phenomenal fishermen. Probably they're in the argument of the best bass fishermen in the world today. I'm talking people like Jason Christie, Greg Hackney, just phenomenal shallow water power fishermen, Matt Herron, just to name those three. So I shot a little reel on Facebook one morning. I was able to catch a little bit of live, and what I saw was Greg Hackney flipping mats and Christie fishing shallow, with a dirty water, big Colorado bladed spinnerbait. Both of those guys catching fish, okay? But only in like the 12-pound bag class, okay? The big females obviously had not moved up yet, but those guys had committed to it. I would have been right there with them. That's my deal. Reason being is when you've played this game enough, when you fish for bass enough all over the country, you know the signs, okay? You know the seasonal patterns, you recognize the water temperature, the time of year, just what should be taking place, all right? Full moon, historical data, those fish should have been moving up to spawn. Okay, and again, we all know that it's very weather dependent, okay? But a lot of fish went up there to do their thing, especially the males, and even though they had a severe cold front, they stayed there, but the females didn't cooperate. But later on in the tournament, guys were shallow and made not only top 50 cut, but top 10 cut on the bank, with and without the aid of forward-facing sonar. Okay, So a lot of those guys have this instinctual knowledge that they've spent their entire lives gathering, and just things that they know. And that should have been the deal. If you were going to try to fish an Elite Series event without forward-facing sonar, that was it, okay? And Lake Fork as well, because not only, are there a lot of males up, there's a lot of females. There's a lot of fish in that 8 to 10 foot zone staging to go up, and those are the ones being caught on forward-facing sonar, okay? So I encourage people, I've always encouraged people to fish their strengths. And of course, that's very, very important when you're gonna go all in. And that's why, I've seen a lot of comments, on all the posts, everybody has forward-facing sonar on the Elite Series, except for one guy, John Cox. Why didn't they adapt? Okay, when you're fishing an event of that caliber, you have to go all in. You're fishing from your gut. You're fishing your strengths. You just believe in your soul that those fish are coming, because it happens like that. They're on Fork right now, and I've had the pleasure of fishing Fork several times. I've been on the Fork 3 times. The first Toyota Texas Bass Classic was on Lake Fork, and did very, very well. I can't remember the 4th tournament. We were set up in teams, 4-man teams. Andy Morgan, myself, Danny Correa, and I'm not sure of the 4th guy. I'm not fishing anymore, I don't believe. We did real well. We were like in 4th place after the first day. I caught an over. It was so much fun. And that was obviously before forward-facing sonar. And it was about this time of year, maybe a few weeks later. But at any rate, that's what you got to do. They're all in on that. They firmly believe that those fish are going to move up overnight, and that's why I started down that path. I went to Fork one time. We fished Amistad. We had 2 weeks before the next tournament on Dardanelles, so there was a week in there off, and I wasn't in a position to drive from basically Mexican border, Amistad, all the way home and all the way back, even if I left my boat there, okay, to Dardanelles. Nor was I in a position at that point in time to fly back, okay? So I chose to go up and hang out at Skeeter, and a bunch of us went fishing on Fork that week. And you could not buy a bite. My friend Clark Green was fishing. His buddy is like the best guide on the entire lake at the time, and they had like 1 fish. Okay, so they were trying to convince me. I was all set up with my camper, trying to convince me to leave and go up and fish some other lakes up in Arkansas, not Dardanelle, but around in that area, and hang out at Clark's house. I said, no, I'm all set up. I'm just going to go ahead and try to, even though the fish aren't biting. It was that weird right before they move up, literally right before they move up. I fished 2 or 3 days and didn't do that good. And then one day, the next morning, I launched the boat, and right from where I launched, the campground, there were fish everywhere. I mean, everywhere, big ones. They moved up overnight, and I had an absolute blast. Okay, so it happens that fast. They had to believe those fish were coming. Okay, do they have the technology to go out and forward-facing sonar? They do, okay? The guys that did well were all in on it. They did it from start to finish, and you're seeing that again on Lake Fork. All I can say about this tournament here on Lake Fork is, oh my God. I mean, if you're watching it, it's just incredible. Incredible. Everybody in the top 10, for 2 days of fishing, I mean, they had over 30 pounds. Like 60 pounds was 9th, 10th place, something like that. They're predicting that the whole top 10 is going to get a century belt, and possibly beyond the top 10 will get a century belt. 100 pounds of bass in 4 days, you get a century belt. So just absolutely incredible. But that's a little bit of my opinion of what happened to the guys that didn't use forward-facing sonar. Obviously, the guys that were using forward-facing sonar, being able to see those fish, those big females that are out staging before they move up, and you could fish that area, that zone, certainly blind cast, you know, I mean, look at some of the best anglers on those lakes, okay? A lot of comments I saw were a lot of veterans, a lot of really skilled anglers on those bodies of water didn't make the top 50 cut, okay? Because forward-facing sonar, it's just so efficient, okay? You can find those areas and then basically target fish in those areas that you can see, either using a little minnow or, you know, a jerkbait. You saw guys, you know, I think it was McKinney, break off his jerkbait on a big fish, and like a 5.5 to 6 pounder, and see the fish, follow it, catch it again. That also happened on Toledo Bend as well, where they lost the fish, followed the fish, caught the fish. Now this is all on fork, it's all catch and release, okay? So unless you had an over, which is over 24 inches long, okay? So I've been fortunate to do that. The first Toyota Texas Bass Classic, you know, rode up in the back of the Toyota. There was a huge concert going on there at the same time. The venue, that's how they got who knows how many thousands of people were there. It was just insane. But to drive up in that Toyota with an over, bring it up on stage, fish burn, you know, announcing, you know, ahead of time, you know, your name and everything. You go up in front of that crowd and hold up this big fish. It was incredible, it really was. That place is just amazing. Texas Parks and Wildlife, or Fish and Wildlife, what do they call themselves, just do a phenomenal job of fish management in the state of Texas. And to be honest with you, I'll go out and I'll just say this right now. I really wish other states, Massachusetts, would take notice. You know, I mean, it works. You know, it works, obviously. So, great program to them. So anyway, that's my take on these first two tournaments there in Texas. It is Saturday. This is the top 50 of fishing today. Caught a little bit of it this morning. Absolutely incredible. Just incredible to see this going down. It's amazing. So, like I said, I'm out here working on the boat. I'm getting ready to put the unit on. I'm going down to Reynolds Boats, working with Chris Evans on the final install. I'm just doing everything all prep. We're going to get everything dialed in and good to go for me. So there you have it. Appreciate you checking it out and listening to the video. Do me a huge favor and just, you know, subscribe to the channel. The numbers we are really close to where, you know, start the process of where we want to be. So again, appreciate you checking out the video, and stay tuned for more. I'm going to be shooting a lot more content here now. I'm in a better place to do that. So all right, thanks for checking out, and we're getting real close here. First week of March. I think my first event, actual tournament, is towards the end of this month. So we got a week of 50-degree weather coming. It's going to be rainy, but looking forward to getting out there. Again, thank you so much for checking out the video, and we'll see you out there.